Now, the art world has always enjoyed shocking the public, and some sections of the media like to respond with howls of "call that art." So when a group of art students from Leeds University made a degree exhibition out of themselves, apparently conceptualizing on the Costa del Sol, the newspapers duly knee-jerked into action. But this time there was a difference. Our North of England team, enjoying the bohemian cafe life in Leeds, considers the affair and ponders the question, what is art?
So what's this story about?
Well, it's a brilliant combination of a sort of old-fashioned art world scam and a media hoax. It all began when a group of third-year fine art students put in for a grant of more than £1,000. And the next thing anybody knew, the students were putting on an exhibition called Going Places.
Rather an ironic title.
You can say that again. Lecturers, friends of the students turned up in this gallery that was apparently empty, except they realized there was a bowl of sangria, there was a cassette playing flamenco guitar, and a woman dressed as an air hostess barking instructions through a megaphone. The next thing that happened was that these visitors to the gallery were herded up, put on a bus, and driven out they knew not where. It turned out to be Leeds Bradford Airport, and there they were confronted by the sight of the students coming through the arrivals lounge with their suitcases piled high on trolleys. They were tanned, they were in their summer gear. To all intents and purposes, they'd been to Spain, to the Costa del Sol, which is what they claimed, and blown this grant on a week's holiday.
The university can't have been too happy about that.
We just had to put through £20,000 for a disabled access minibus, and it's things like that that we're fighting for money for. And so it's a shame when people take a proportion of that money and spend it on a holiday.
This activity, where they obtain money from me under false pretences, really has poisoned me against any way I may feel I can help them in the future.
So, of course, by this morning, the papers have got hold of it. The guy in the Telegraph, Richard Dormant, captures the mood. It seems to me to be on the edge of being a hoax and quite a good joke. I think the joke wins. Well, if he did but know it, he was onto something there.
Why's that?
Turns out the whole thing was a hoax and a spoof. The students hadn't been to Spain. The closest they got was Scarborough. They went up there on a day trip and faked up these photos. And as for the money, they hadn't touched it, at least that's what they say today. In the ageless words of Father Ted, the money is resting in an account.
There were like times when it kind of almost sort of went pear-shaped because we bumped into people in Scarborough.
The immediate reaction in the news was one of lazy art students do this, they can't think of anything better to do. But this sort of shows that in the end we were thinking about this for a long time.
What we've done hasn't detracted from the original project, it's just added another layer, and we can see the way now that it's interpreted by the media in a completely different way.
But is it art?
Of course, that's the key question. That's the £1,000 question in this case. Well, who can say? Art, I suppose, like beauty, is in the eye of the beholder. But the more pertinent question for students is probably art for art's sake, money for God's sake.